And welcome to another hard-hitting edition of Duck Snow Sports. This time I've done all my baseball previews, so I get to the big preview. As I preview the season, I give you my MVP, my Cy Youngs, my playoff teams, and of course, my World Series picks. So let's get started with the most valuable player in each league. We'll start in the American League. A lot of choices, of course. Pujols. Someone on the Jays, possibly. So I think they'll have a good year. Prince Fielder came to mind, but when it all came down to it, I gotta go with Mike Trout. Of course, came up last year, made a hell of an impact. And of course, you gotta worry about Mike Trout. Will he suffer the sophomore slump? I don't think he will. This guy is just a straight-up player, and I love the way Mike Trout plays. Can hit the ball and is great in the field. Love me some Mike Trout, and I think Mike Trout takes game to a whole new level this year, and this time takes home the MVP. In the National League, a lot of choices again, but to me, only one real choice is I think the Cincinnati Reds are going to have a big year, and Joey Votto is going to have a huge year, I believe, and I think Joey Votto goes home with the National League Most Valuable Player. All right, moving on to the Cy Youngs. Be interesting in the American League because you got so many good pitchers. I could have picked so many guys, but I think Yu Darvish from the Texas Rangers had a great start to his career last year and then kind of suffered a little in the second half, but I think this guy will be solid again. I really like Yu Darvish. So many pitches. Really, and Texas Rangers probably count on him a lot more with Josh Hamilton leaving Texas, so they'll have to depend on him a lot more. But I think Yu Darvish game goes to a whole new level this year, and I think Yu Darvish goes home with the American League Cy Young. Or the National League. Usually a guy goes from American to the National League. Usually does not go well the first year. Usually has to learn because he's facing all new batters, most likely. But Zach Greinke is just a different kind of cat. And I really like Zach Greinke. I really think he is a not even top 5, top 3 pitcher in baseball. Maybe the best pitcher in baseball. Loves Zach Greinke's game. I think Zach Greinke going over from the American to the National League will not matter. And I like Zach Greinke from the Los Angeles Dodgers of Los Angeles to take home the National League Cy Young Award. Moving over to my playoff teams in the East, I got the Toronto Blue Jays. I think all the big acquisitions will work out in Toronto. I think Toronto Blue Jays will have a big year. In the Central, I got the Detroit Tigers. Of course, won the World Series last year. Will they get back to World Series? More to that in just a minute. In the West, I love the Angels this year. I think the Angels are going to run away with the West this year. Love the Angels. Of course, adding Josh Hamilton, of course, I think will be the difference from them being West champions this year. In my 2 wildcard teams, I got the Tampa Bay Rays. And the last one, a lot of teams, teams like the Yankees came to mind. Upstart Kansas City Royals came to mind. Cleveland Indians. Oakland A's. But I got to go with the Texas Rangers. I think Yu Darvish, of course, is a Cy Young Award winner. And I think Texas, losing Josh Hamilton, but I don't think they will be done this year, as I believe the Texas Rangers still make the playoffs. In the National League, I got coming out of the East, I got the Washington Nationals. I think success last year. I think success again this year. But I like the Washington Nationals to come out of the East. In the Central, I like the Cincinnati Reds. I expect Cincinnati to have a big year. Over in the West, a bit of a surprise, I guess. I guess you could say a little surprise. But I got the Dodgers. Like the Dodgers, basically had the West. Well, maybe not basically won last year, but great start to the season last year. Looked like they were going to steamroll all through the season and make the playoffs, and of course collapsed with. But I think with all those players they got last year, will just work out better this year, as I think they'll have more time for chemistry in camp. And I like the Dodgers to win the West. And my 2 National League team is we got the Atlanta Braves and the defending champions, San Francisco Giants. Of course, can't count the champions out. And for my World Series, I guess a bit of a shocker, I guess you'd say. Not a lot of people picking what I'm picking. But I like the Cincinnati Reds. That's right. The Cincinnati Reds. You know, loved them last year. Beginning the playoffs, thought they would win the World Series, but didn't get the job done. Of course, losing in the first round. But the Cincinnati Reds over the Angels. I think the Angels have a big, big year this year. And the Angels will go to the World Series, become a little bit short. To your 2013 World Series champions, the Cincinnati Reds. But that being said, though, very interesting to see how the season plays out. You know, so many question marks. You know, how will the Jays do? Who knows? All those big names brought in the offseason, how will that translate into wins? Only time will tell. New York Yankees, probably the weakest they've been in years. Will they make the playoffs? Who knows? The Boston Red Sox adding John Farrell. Will that be enough to get the Red Sox back in the playoffs? You know, upstart teams like the Kansas City Royals or the Cleveland Indians. Are they going to be back on that and go to the playoffs? Maybe a surprise team in the National League, like the Pittsburgh Pirates. There's so many questions this year. I can't wait for season to get underway. Of course, season gets underway this Sunday, March 31st. Should be an interesting one. Who's going to win it all? I think Cincinnati Reds. But with baseball, you never really know. Who picked the Giants last year to win the World Series? Not me, that's for sure. Yeah, I picked the Phillies. And they sucked. And they will probably suck again this year, as I don't think they make the playoffs. And I think, how about this? The trade deadline, here's my bold prediction in the baseball. The first bold prediction this year. Roy Halladay gets traded at the trade deadline to the Blue Jays. Write it down, book it, tweet it out, do all that. That's going to happen. But baseball season, like I said, should be interesting. Till next time, I'm Eric Ducks for saying I'm Ducks, and I know sports. Kind of.